What's up, everybody? Gonna make a video today removing the dash from the BMW e36, but I am unable to get into the garage. So I knew this was a problem when I rented the place. I knew it had some flooding issues. I thought I'd made them a little better, but with all the snow we've gotten, it melted and then it froze, and so now I'm unable to even open the door open. So I can get in and work, but I really need to get this motorcycle out. I need to clean up a bit. So I'm gonna work on getting this door open. Also, I realized my GoPro battery is not holding a charge. It was at 65% when I drove here, and now I did about 2 minutes of filming and it's at 12. Well, it was at 12 when I got to my garage. It was at like 20 and now it's at 12, so it's just not holding a charge well, which is unfortunate. I just bought it. So I need to do some, I don't know, I'm gonna try to get into the garage. I'll let you go. I'll come back when I got an update on that. Hopefully sooner rather than later, because I really wanted to get the dash out today because it's nice. It's like 50 degrees here. All right, we're back, everybody. I got the door open a little more enough. I wanted to get my motorcycle out back to my place because I'm in the process of selling that as my old bike. We're gonna be doing we're gonna be jumping around today a bit. I got my engine stand, as you can see there. I got the motor. What I'd like to do, I want to get the trans off today, and I'm not sure if I can reuse the trans bolts. It's been a while since I put a motor on an engine stand, so I'm either gonna I'm gonna get the trans off and then see if the bolts will work for the engine stand, or run to the store and get some bolts. But I really want to get this engine on the stand so I can get this crane out of here, the lift, because it kind of takes a lot of space. We're going to be getting the engine on the stand, hopefully, or at least getting the trans off, and then working on taking the dash out from the car, because that is the next step I need to do. I got to take the dash out, front suspension, rear suspension, and then this chassis is toast. I mean, I'm obviously going to take my side skirts off, and like maybe these rear windows might save them. I think I will save them. Gone ahead and broken loose all the bolts holding on the transmission housing. These are e-torque sockets. They look, you can see what they look like. It's like a Torx head, but it's reverse, so you gotta have special sockets for these. I've gone ahead and broke them all loose, and I'm gonna run them out. I think I'm gonna have to set you guys down on the tripod so that I can have two hands for this, because I'm not entirely sure how well. I don't think this trans is too heavy. I think it's like 70-80 pounds, so it shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, I'm gonna set you guys down and go from there. We just got the trans off. Wasn't too bad. I'm glad it wasn't heavier, but I'm able to lift this and move it around. So now that we got that off, got to take the flywheel off, I think, before we can put it on the stand. So I'm gonna take the flywheel off, and then I'm gonna set you guys back up when I put it on the stand. But I'm not gonna record the flywheel because it's a pretty straightforward process. Sorry, the lighting here is kind of bad, but I messed up. So I wanted to check the compression on this motor, and most cars, the starter is bolted to the engine housing, so taking the trans off wouldn't affect mounting the starter, because you need the starter to check the compression. But of course, BMW, the starter is mounted to the trans, so I'm gonna be putting this on pause for right now because I have to mount the trans back on. I don't need to put the clutch back in, but I do need to mount the trans on, and then so I can mount the starter on, and then I can compression test the motor. So next, I told you we're gonna be jumping around a bit today. I'm gonna go inside the car, and I'm gonna start ripping the dash out and everything that goes along with that. Handbrakes coming out, radios, the heat controls, steering column. And I don't know if it's all going to come out tonight, but that is the plan, to get it all out. So I'm going to come in here, kind of poke around with that, because I don't want to put the trans back on tonight. I'll tackle that another day. What's going on, everybody? In the last clip you just saw, that was yesterday. I took a break. I stopped for the night and come back out here today. It's going to be nice all week, so I should be out here getting a lot of work done. But back out here today, and I think we're gonna jump around a little bit again. I need to clean the place up. Not sure. I mean, it's a mess, which don't judge me on that. But also some of these parts that I'm not going to be using for a while, like my radiator, this hood, I don't think I'll be using at all. I kind of want to mount it on the wall up here. But this bumper, these headlights, might not be using them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in the back of my Subaru. I'm going to take them to my new place. I actually just moved in to my own house, well, renting it, but and I got a lot of room in the basement there, so I'm gonna clear out some of the stuff in here to give me more room to work. And I don't know, I just like having a clean space, although it might not look like it. I'm not really sure everything I'm gonna be putting in the back of the Subaru yet to take to my place. What I'm gonna do, put stuff in there that I want to take, and I'll show you guys what I'm taking down there, and I'll show you guys when we cleaned up here a bit. And then the dash is coming out today. That is the next big step. What I've got to do is the roll cage is hitting right there behind the dash. So I'm not saving the roll cage anyways. So we're gonna cut this section of the roll cage out, maybe the door bars, just to give me some more room, so that we can get the dash out and go from there. I mean, we're so close to getting this car gone, which is really what I want. The water hasn't gotten any better, but luckily we don't have to do anything to the rear yet. Hopefully by the time I get to the rear subframe removal and all the axles and everything, the water is cleared up. If not, I'm gonna have to pump it out, which won't be the end of the world, but we'll see. I'll see you guys in just a second. Got our safety glasses on, a grinder. I think this is gonna be the best way. I'm gonna cut it here, then cut it up here, and take that little section out. All right, get to it. I think I'm gonna take that off. If the sparks are going crazy, then I've got a welding blanket I can put, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes first. So as we can see, I can't reach this. I don't care about this because this chassis is getting strapped, but I can't reach this last little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the hammer to it and see if it's enough. I can just hit it and bend it out of place. So I'm going to go grab the hammer. So I think I got that on camera. But we're loose right now. So as you can see down here, we're really loose. Over here, I'm gonna set you guys down for 2 seconds. I gotta get this light in a better position. Alright, that looks pretty good. Alright, we're just going to take this thing and walk it this way. It's about to fall. And there you have it. Now this side is unrestricted and it should be able to pull the dash out. I just got to do the same to that side. It should be the pretty same process, so I'm not going to video that, but I will skip to when we got that side done and pull the dash out. Unfortunately, I was in the middle of cutting that roll cage out, and my main source of light, like I have these lights, but they're not the best for inside the car, and it just died. Fresh battery, tried 3 different batteries, nothing. And without this, it's very hard to film videos in the car or even out here because it's very dark and low light. Like if I turn the camera, it's all right there. But if I turn this way, my face is lit, but the rest of the garage is not, unfortunately. I don't really have any other lights, portable lights like a headlight or something. I can still see enough to cut the roll cage out. I might just set the camera up here so that you guys can watch when I pull the dash out, because there is enough light for that. I think we're gonna stop today's video though after I get the dash out, just because the lighting situation is not the best. Also, yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it, this shop, whatever you want to call it, doesn't have power. So this is a solar light, that is a solar light, and this is a DeWalt battery powered light, which it works great, and it's an obstacle I had to overcome for the lighting and no power. It's definitely could be worse. It allows me to have a space to build this car and hopefully other cars in the future if I'm still here. But so yeah, I'm gonna get the dash out, set you guys up, and I think we're gonna call it for there. I'll come back after I get the dash out. So the whole backside is loose, but I think I need to get these turn signal arms off, and there's one connector right there that I'm struggling to get. I'm gonna get those, and then hopefully that's the last step. I don't know, this is my first time ever doing any interior work in a BMW, so bear with me here. Well, of course, I didn't think it was gonna come out. I actually didn't have to remove, this is so dark in here, I'm sorry guys. I didn't have to remove the turn signal arms, but the dash is out now, which is pretty exciting. It's currently sitting in my lap, so I need to get it out of here. Okay, let's get it on out. Oh, having a roll cage sucks unless you unless it requires it for your level of driving. I don't know. I mean, I would always recommend a roll cage, but it's just a pain in the ass. Well, there's the dash sitting on the ground. I don't care too much about this dash because I have a whole another dash inside this car, and it's an all black dash, so I'm gonna be using that one. Like I said, I'll save this one though, just in case I need it. I think I'm gonna end today's video there. Having with no light and only my phone for a light, it's really hard to record. I need to get a little GoPro light. Didn't get a ton done today. Got a little cleaned up at the shop. Got the dash out. Might pick at cleaning it up a little bit. Pick out a couple things here and there. Nothing really video worthy though. But now that we got a good look at the dash, pretty exciting. I can kind of see what I need to work on next. Get the steering column out of there, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with all the the heat piping and everything like that, but I'm sure it's got to come out so I can get everything else out. Don't know if I'm gonna be putting it in the new car or maybe doing like a simplified system. Maybe I don't really need all that fancy stuff. I just need some heat on the windshield and in the car. So we'll see how that goes. But what's going on, everybody? This is episode 4 now of the E36 build. Today we're going to be working more on the interior now that we got the dash out last time. As we can see there, that gives us access to all the wiring and the steering column support and the steering column itself and the heating ducts and whatnot. Before we do that, I'm going to take the time, since it's a nicer day out, it's supposed to be around 50 degrees. I'm going to take the time, clean up the shop a little bit. I've got parts laying around, tools laying around, tripods, jacks. So just going to take the time to clean it up. So I'm thinking I'm going to put the camera up there and do a little time lapse. That way I can get the whole shop and cleaning everything up. So we got the shop a lot more cleaned up. It may not look like it, but it feels like it to me. A lot of the big stuff isn't moved yet because I'm going to be needing that real soon, such as the engine stand and the transmission, because I'm going to have to bolt that back up to the engine so that I can mount the starter to the trans so that I can do a compression test on this motor. I want to do the compression test before I put any real money into the motor, because if the compression is not good, then I really don't know what I'm going to do. I might just re-steel the engine, slap it back in the new car and run it until it explodes or something like that. I don't know, or go on the hunt for a new engine, a new M52. So we'll see. Hopefully the compression is good so I don't even have to worry about that. Now that the shop's cleaned up, we're going to dive into the inside of the car. The main goal is definitely get the steering column support out and maybe the wiring harness, although I know that the wiring harness is connected to this fuse panel, and I've read that can be difficult to get the fuse panel removed. So we'll see how that goes today. I'm going to dive right into it and I'll show you guys how it's going. We're in the car now, and I've got some various tools that I think I'll need. The impact, some sockets. There's a lot of zip ties holding stuff on, so to start I'm just going to cut a lot of these off so I can even get access to everything. This is just holding on foam, but there is some stuff behind that I'll need. There's zip ties up in here too. Not sure if you guys can see that. Oops. Now we can free up this harness somewhat. I think the plan of attack is going to be remove this bar first, and then because that'll get out of our way, and then I'm thinking this white bracket holding some fuses and relays up there, and then after that I'm not really sure how to attack this, so I'm gonna get those two out, and then we'll see. We'll go from there. So I'm running into my first problem here. These bolts right here are some type of security bolt, so they have no way to get them off. These hold the steering column to this metal bracket. So it's all loose right now, but I can't take it out because I have no way to get those bolts off. I'm gonna try some vice grips or pliers, see if I can back them out if they're not really tight. If that doesn't work, then I'm gonna have to do some research and see how you're supposed to get those out. Because on the top here It's just the back end of the bolt, so there's nothing to grab onto there either, except maybe some vice grips could get on there. So, typical BMW. I mean, I'm sure every car does that, but it kind of seems ridiculous. But I gotta try to figure out how to get those out until I can move on. So I'm gonna do some research online and see what I come up with. So after a little research, I found what I think is probably gonna be the best way to get them out, and it involves a chisel, a hammer, and then a screwdriver. Shout out to DVATP on YouTube. It's like the only video, although I didn't know exactly what to search for, but with the video I found, he's really good at explaining it. So what he does is he takes a chisel and he hammers in, almost makes this bolt like a flathead bolt. So he hammers in a line in the bolt so that you are able to get a flathead in there and turn it out. Because he said they're not very high torque, so as long as you get a little indentation line, that a flathead should turn it out no problem. Problem now is that I don't have a chisel set down here. I actually don't have one at all, so I guess this is my excuse to buy one. I'm gonna either run to Harbor Freight or Menards, see which one. I'm gonna look online to see which one has the best option. Just got out of Menards. I didn't film in there because I don't know what their policy on filming is, but we got this 1/2-inch chisel. Should work well for what we need it to. I'm gonna stop, get some food real quick, head back there, and get those 2 bolts out hopefully. See you guys in a minute. So we're back in the car, and I've got the chisel and a hammer. I'm gonna set you guys on the tripod to see if I can record this. It's gonna be kind of difficult because of where I need to basically lay down and do this, but we're gonna see if we can get it in camera. So if we're going right, all right, that should be good. All right, we'll try that. My hand's gonna be blocking most of it, but I gotta lay down and do this. This is very uncomfortable right now. So it's going to take me quite a bit. I can tell the bolts are pretty tough steel. This is what they said would work, so I'm just going to get one of these done and I'll show you if we're successful. If not, I'll come back and let you guys know what our next plan of attack is, but I'm going to get one of these out hopefully and show you guys that. Another setback, this chisel and hammer method is not working. I'm not sure if I have bought too big of a chisel, but it just doesn't seem to be it's making indents in the bolt, but not enough to get a screwdriver in. So I'm gonna go to method number 2, was get an angle grinder. This is my idea. Get an angle grinder and notch a little slit in the bolt, and then turn that out with the flathead. I feel like as long as I can get the angle grinder in there, which I should be able to get the angle grinder in just barely, like from underneath, coming up from the top on both sides. Might have to get this electrical harness out the way, but get the angle grinder out and should be able to notch a little slit, and hopefully that'll do the trick. The bad thing is I don't have the angle grinder here with me. I didn't think I needed it today. I was not prepared. It's back at my house. So it means I have to go and grab an angle grinder. So it's going to be another quick trip, and then we'll be back. Hopefully that is the last trip I need to make today. I got the angle grinder and I got notches in it, and I tried with the big flathead screwdriver, and in those things, I don't know if mine were torqued down a lot by mistake, but I could not get them out. So I went to option 2, which you'll see. I ended up just cutting this column support because I remembered that the new car actually came with one, so this one didn't matter. So I cut it right there and here. So now this is loose and out of the way. It allows me to get more to this wiring. It doesn't drop down all the way because it's still attached. Still attached up in there. Now that it's loose, I can attack the wiring harness. Didn't get as much done as progress as I wanted to today. Unfortunately, this setback kind of cost me a lot of time. I'm gonna try to get the wiring harness out as much as I can. Yeah, we're gonna go from there though. I'm just gonna dive right in, see what I can start removing. I have no idea how to start removing that big box. We'll see though, that's gonna be a challenge. So yeah, if you're gonna do your e36 steering column or take out everything like that, be prepared to have a fun time with those bolts. I've never done this before, so if I would have known that, I would have came more prepared. But live and learn though. So putting that in the car should be a lot easier because I'm not gonna use those bolts, just normal bolts. So yeah, start taking out this harness. What I've got disconnected so far is a lot of these wires up here. I need to get these boxes either removed or unplugged from them. I'm trying to remove the heat box, whatever you want to call it, because a lot of the wires are run behind it. And first I need to in order to get this off, I need to remove this metal bracket stuff. So I'm going to get that out, then this, and then go from there. It's pretty slow going because of all the stuff that is in, like this seat bracket makes it very uncomfortable and awkward positions to work in here. And you might say, well, why don't you just remove it? Well, the previous owner welded it in onto the floor of the car, and so yeah, I could cut it out, but I can't really get the angle right, so it's stuck for now. Also, the roll cage makes it very tight in here, and just overall not a very fun work environment, which, yeah, I'm getting very claustrophobic in here, but power through it and try to make some progress. Yeah, just not very fun to work in here. That's why I want to be done. So I'm gonna get that bracket out, and then we'll see how much more progress we can make. It's gonna be getting dark here soon, and we'll need to be getting home eventually. Made a little more progress. I got all this wiring. It was all zip tied. I got it all cut, and so the next thing that needs to happen is this box needs to come out, and I took off this cover, but that just exposes the heater core. It doesn't give me a way to remove the box. I'm thinking it's these bolts there and there on both sides. It's getting dark in here, and my lights are starting to die. So I'm gonna call it for today, but thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe, please. It really helps a lot grow the channel. I really want to do this more often, and will allow me to make that happen. So I appreciate you guys watching. See you next time.